Today we have a question from an Instagram user. I put the society on my back. The question is, how do you stay motivated to write? That's a really interesting question because it assumes that the answer is the same for all of us. The first thing is you do want to feel motivated. You want to feel excited to write. And excitement is great, but it usually doesn't last more than a day or two. And so you want to build a habit of writing. But first, let's get to the excitement. What excites you about writing? What is it that you want to accomplish with your writing? For some people, they're excited by awards. And if you've won an award, you can get a little bit of excitement by going back and thinking about the award you've won and remembering how good it felt on that day when you won that award. If you can just sit back and clear your mind and remember a good time that you had. It may not be an award that you won, though. It may be just a piece of criticism, maybe somebody in a writing group that you're in, or a teacher or a friend commented on how much they liked your writing and how much it meant to them. And that can be really poignant and powerful too. In some cases, it can be life-changing for other people to read your works. And you may not have many experiences with that yet, but if you've been writing any amount of time, you may have dozens of experiences where people have written and told you how grateful they are for what you've done. There are other types of motivation, though. I remember my first really big royalty check. It was big enough to pay off my house, buy a new house, pay off my car, buy 2 new cars, and still have enough money to live on for 2 years. That was a great day. And if you're motivated by money, you might think about, for example, how much money you could make as a writer. There really are good estimates that I could show you that show how much money a person can make as a writer if you follow the right path. There are other things, though, that can motivate a person. You might be motivated, for example, by the desire to be your own boss, to get out from the corporate ladder and not have to worry about corporate politics in your business place. I used to go down and write on the beaches in Cabo San Lucas, and when I did that, it was just kind of bliss. Get up in the morning, the sun's rising out over the ocean. I would sit there and write until it would begin to warm up enough so that the iguanas would come out to sun. And it was sort of like I just couldn't imagine a better job. So all of those things, when you put them together, may be motivations for you. Going back and mining your own personal experiences is probably the biggest source of motivation, but also mining your dreams. What is it that you really want to accomplish? And if you can sit down and imagine what it would feel like, then you can get yourself into that mood to write. Now, just getting into the mood once, though, isn't enough, because writing isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. You have to do it every day for a while. And it doesn't take every day for your life of sitting down to write to accomplish something. You know, writing a book is going to genuinely take you probably a couple or 3 or 5 months, something like that. And so you have to sit down and start making it a habit. And habits form first because we have that excitement. We like to write, but they form because once you do it every day, you find that it feels really good. It's like exercising. When you go out and exercise and you run that first quarter of a mile, you might feel like you're so out of shape that it's going to kill you. But after you've been running 1, 2, 3, 5 miles a day for a while, all of a sudden you discover that if you miss a day, it's terrible. You feel so bad you have to go out and run, even if it's late at night, to make up for it. Well, writing's the same way. If you get into the habit of writing and it becomes a part of what you do every day, you're going to discover that it's a tremendous amount of fun. Recently, there was a study that was done that I just read about last week. It was talking about the value of doing creative work. And it talked about getting into the alpha state of consciousness where you're writing and enjoying your work and all of this. Well, when you get into that creative state, they find that there are certain chemicals in the brain that are cleared out even better than if you if you sleep, and so it's a very relaxing state, and it can be a lot of fun and very enjoyable for people. And when you get into that state and you're writing all day long and doing it successfully, you're going to find that you start craving it day in and day out. So if you want to find me next, I will be at 20 Books to 50K in Las Vegas in the near future. I'll also be going to Hollywood next week to teach a big workshop for the Writers of the Future winners. And so feel free to look me up there. Have a great Tuesday and happy writing.